bottom. They need to be putting everything they have into this match. For Penta, they could get relegated, but it's not very likely. They could also go to land, but it's not very likely. Every single point that Penta secures, whether it be by a draw or by a win, gets them closer from the bottom as far as they're concerned. If they want to go to land, they're going to have to win all of their matches, though that's, again, very unlikely. So, right now, Penta are fighting to, I guess, keep themselves away from the bottom, really. Secret, on the other hand, are already in the bottom, and they want to get out. They want to get out as quickly as possible. And Secret will be playing against Na'Vi in the next European Playday, who are their next closest competition. So, yeah. Secret just wants to get as many points as they can right now, here, and that's it. That's all it is. Penta, on the other hand, I guess the gatekeepers of relegations.
Well, the meta that overwhelmed us in, honestly, the beginning of Year 2 Season 1, the heavy glass, and then as soon as Ying came in a direction as well, really just dominating a lot of the play. Both operators will be taken away from us, and okay, two different defender bans that we don't typically see, especially on Coastline, but understandable nonetheless. Pulse and Smoke banned out on the defensive side. That leaves Mira, Maestro, and Echo, and Valkyrie all at the disposal of the defenders. Coastline, a map that we saw go heavily on the defender side early on.
Sometimes. I mean, the whole defender-attacker favored thing is just, I feel like it's team by team, because really, the map is just a platform for your two teams to compete against each other. Some teams are better at attack, some teams are better at defense. It really depends on the context. It also depends on their opponents. So,
Apparently Hungary left the team speak from Penta because the Ying was taken away. Very upset was Hungary, and obviously a very powerful Ying player, but he'll facilitate the Blackbeard role for now. No breachers being brought by Penta, but this has been a strategy that's been familiarized for quite a while now on Coastline, just the lack of a hard breacher necessary on this map.
So, Billiards. No Maestro.
No Maestro.
And a Clash. The Clash has been a tool more often utilized recently. I think the real change there was the, switching from two-shot burst, which was so awkward to use, to fully automatic SMG, and that kind of popularized her. She's also really just generally good at delaying your opponents if you use her correctly. And we saw her used to great effect by Mouse in the last match. Will Team Secret be able to show us something similar here? And now is the question, as they start off the bat bringing her.
So it'll be up to Penta as well to identify a push. Last time, earlier on today, between Lestream and Chaos, we saw Lestream have a lot of difficulty with, I guess, splitting up the push to a degree and honestly having an effective roam clear against Chaos. Chaos were standing and fighting a lot of their engagements. And up on top of Tarp already is Hungry as he angles in towards Hookah, and he'll do a little bit of damage onto Leon, the Echo, who was positioned in Hookah, but he'll evacuate his stronghold position in behind that bar and escape to the Cool Vibe stairs. And Hungry, I imagine, isn't going to be getting off this tarp anytime soon. Revon trying to deal with the Mute Jammer that's stalling out a myriad of drones out on top of the balcony, but Mute Jammer from Stizzy pressed just inside. Yeah, unable to spot it out. Now Hungry will be looking in. You can see the collapse right now onto Hookah coming out for Penta. Very atypical. Usually you see an Aquarium push or a VIP push. Seems like Hookah is just the immediate entry point here for Penta. As Bloss will take down Fonkers. There goes your Legion, but coming to blows with 11s on the Clash won't do a whole lot with the shield in his face.
Lots of long angles here for Penta. They're just waiting for the picks to walk in their crosshairs, and you're right, Hookah attacks is a little bit different, but they've got the smokes to make this work. They're just waiting for the opportunity. Blaz to get that early pick, but nothing else coming just yet. Lem's going to eat a little bit of damage there from Tarp. It's a really powerful position for Hungry to be playing right now, especially on a Blackbeard. You really can't challenge a Blackbeard on Tarp.
We've got Ravenants out of Hookah Balcony, will now bail out of his position. Blaz collecting another on the big window repel. No challenge here from Team Secret as it was just a Lems, but the Clash will actually be the second one to fall. Fonkers and Lems fall one after another to Bloss, simply repelled. Now it's Penta going for a rotation as they initially set their sights on Hookah, but now after acquiring 2 picks, will turn their attention and and their view over towards Aquarium to try and push in the dying 45 seconds. Reloading that drum mag of the PDW is Revon as he looks to angle in and still has 2 smoke grenades, as you noticed and noted earlier on. Bloss holding for any flanks down below for potential nitro cells. Leon will be able to collect a kill onto enemy. So there goes your sledge and your opportunity for frag grenades, and Meepy down below will cut down the flank hold into Bloss. Suddenly, this is turning the way of Team Secret.
Great job there to Secret, starting to bounce back after those early picks from Bloss. Steezy doing his best to hold on to Billiards. He's got the SMG-11. He will land the shot on Sir Boss. Shotgun out, and another one for Steezy. Leon gets the final kill, and Penta shut out by Team Secret. It seemed like the attack had it, but they just couldn't make it happen in the end.
Good response there from Team Secret, and the roam downstairs from the Valkyrie. Instrumental in being able to at least apply pressure downstairs and split up the push, as you had the flank hold of Bloss downstairs and Blue Bar falling, and then dying seconds, smokes come out, but they don't go for the plant immediately because they know that the nitro cell's below. They try to push their way in and get inside of Hookah and have more control on a potential retake. It's a good response there, honestly, being down 3v5 and able to pull that round back. And now it's kitchen and service entrance defense coming out from Team Secret, as this is yet another defensive round in the docket of teams today on Coastline. Chaos having a 5-1 split on the defensive half earlier on today. Be interested to see if it's as strong in this matchup or if Penta have a little bit more in their gas tank in the first half of the attacking side.
Yeah, so we're seeing a continuation of the Blackbeard here from Hungary, and it's an interesting operator that doesn't actually get a lot of play lately, but there are some places on Coastline especially where you can put a Blackbeard and there's nothing that the enemy can really do about it. It's an operator that can cut down angles and cut off rotations, and that's what he's always been good at. As long as you put him on rappel, put him at a long angle, whatever the case be, just put him in a position where the shield is actually going to assist at that range. And Hungary is one of those players that can really land those shots. I mean, usually the sort of player that's going to be bringing a Ying, but nobody lets Penta play Ying anymore. Almost always a Ying ban against Penta because of Hungary and how proficient he is on that role.
Pretty smart decision, honestly. Hard to argue with that kind of call, especially considering that what was it, 6-second ace at SI?
Yes, I believe it was the 6-second ace. Yeah, it was pretty darn impressive. Just wow. So here we go. Kitchen. We don't have an Echo anymore. They rotated onto a Maestro and they're bringing a Mira for delivery. We've seen Mira brought on Kitchen before, but the main thing I think is going to be they're assisting the top floor roam. That's the big thing with the Mira. A little bit of damage done there to Leon by enemy. Good job to enemy. Good game sense there. No kill though, of course. Unreinforced kitchen walls are very dangerous for the defense here, the anchors specifically inside of A, and it will cost them later in the round. Fokker's going to go to Sir Boss, and Lem's also eating some damage. So here we go, Penta, again with an early advantage as they get their second pick there, finally onto a Lem's. But they've been here before, and they've lost this situation before. So question is, can they lock it out?
It's the exact same members, just facilitating different roles for Team Secret at almost the same time as well as we eclipse the midway point in the round. The Jackal tries coming out from Revon this time onto Meepy, the Valkyrie that was able to flank into Sunrise last time around. And Leon holding for the push from Revon down Cool Vibe stairs. Revon thinks better of it as you've got Hungary repelled upside down the service door, waiting for anyone to rotate inside of Kitchen. Stizzy as well playing close range. Could push with the shotgun, but the shield always precarious. Yes, he'll identify that it's the upside down rappel there from Hungary, as the Valkyrie cameras could be spotting this out as well. It's a good Sunrise hold here for the rest of Team Secret that remain alive, but it's going to be up to Leon to do a lot of the heavy lifting with this Aldo looking up to the floorboards, and now a Nitrocell goes soaring, and it'll connect onto Sir Boss. There goes the IQ. Almost identical situation from last round as the smokes come out. They're looking to push in for a plant.
As we talked about, Penta have been in this position before and it's worked against them. Blaz is going to take down Steezy though, so it's not over yet for Penta. And as Ravon eliminates Leon, it actually very likely seems to be first round for Penta. The odds of a clutch here from Meatpea are slim to none. He's got a lot of information though. You can see the marks coming out. Oh, but they're not going to work out. Enemy, great reaction there to Meatpea's position. You would have expected Meatpea to be able to get that kill, maybe one follow-up, given the information he had in abundance, but nope, not going to happen. Penta managed to lock out the round. They will not be swindled 2 in a row.
Well, it's a better response from Penta than Stream had in their first half on the attacking side on Coastline earlier today.
True.
And we didn't really see... I mean, the first round was still pretty crazy. Don't get me wrong. 3v5 comeback there for Secret. But the second round doesn't follow with that. It's almost the same script, just Penta lock it out a little bit better. So Secret will be forced off of Kitchen. They don't really want to go back. They're going to head over to the other first floor bomb site, which is Blue Bar and Sunrise Bar. Alterations to the lineup here as Enemy continuously 6-picking off of the Hibana and just picking a different operator every time. This time he'll head to the Twitch.
He's got a diverse taste, man. He can make any kind of operator work. It's nice to see. I think versatile player is a huge boon to his team. He's going to be highlighting that here. Now, Double Bar as a site is one of the more difficult sites to defend. It's not a bad site, it's just a site that requires a lot of coordination from your defensive team and will require an extensive amount of setup and certainly presence on the top floor from Secret, whether it be a late flank coming from the east side or an actual hard hold on hookah and billiards. That's up to you as a team. But Secret seem to be angling for a hard hold hookah billiards, or at least a late rotation. But it could change any second. Lots of reinforcements going towards the bar by billiards, and that's what would suggest that. Like that rotation there as well opened up, just in case they can fall back as long as no one's watching from Skyline.
Seems like Team Secret well prepared to play Coastline this time around, and especially with Penta's aggressive onset of their attacks. They're getting picks very early on. Seems to be coming from the drone play. Hungry, he's going to head out on Tarp again as that Blackbeard. Like you said, the ability to cordon off long rotation sight lines across the map with a face shield that won't be destroyed as easily at extensive range. And again, Alem's looking to peek this. I mean, the 416 is probably your favorite weapon to peek a Blackbeard shield with. Peeking a Blackbeard in general, not advised. And you got a battle going back and forth right now between Blaz and Meepy inside of the kitchen and outside the window. No bullets connecting, though. It's a bit of a Cold War. No one actually landing a shot, and they'll fall off. They don't even want to re-engage with one another. Blaz now backing out. Re-engaging now, but Meepy is long since retreated. It's a good position here for Team Secret. Number one, they haven't lost a member inside of the first minute. And number two, they've been able to stall out Penta's ingress into the building as a whole. Not a lot of map control picked up from Penta so far.
I mean, they poked a hole in the roamers upstairs with that Blackbeard, but it only does so much to cut off that one angle. And Hungry has not landed any shots onto his opponents yet, which means that Secret just aren't exposing themselves upstairs. Half of the round gone now and one Blackbeard shield lost as he attempts to peek his way into Sunrise Bar. That's Leon Gids who will punish that Blackbeard. So every shield lost is pretty substantial on this operator. And Lems with a double kill, but he'll be shut down. So it's not the end of the world here for Penta. Sir Boss finally slows that momentum that Secret was about to start generating thanks to Lems. They're still putting a lot of pressure on this top floor. There's still roamers abound. Enemy, though, will miss an opportunity there on Leon, and that's going to prompt Leon to start falling back.
If you're Hungry as well, positioned up on that big window again, you're very wary if anyone peeking that Sunrise window, if your teammate isn't available to support. The drones will spot Fonkers, and as he tries to retreat down the Cool Vibe stairs, Sir Boss cannot connect on a lethal blow. Breach Charge will detonate, looking to scare anyone playing in these common positions, one behind Cubby and one behind the bar. It looks like they play Ring Around the Rosie as Sir Boss is unable to identify Meepy or Leon in their staunch position. Shots raining down from above, and finally Enemy will collect at the Sunrise entrance as 30 seconds remain in the round. They're looking to connect. Another Nitrocell being prepped. It's on top of the ceiling, and it'll detonate, but it won't connect. Meepy, though, with the MPX, able to do some work and drop Hungry. 1 HP remaining, and Sir Boss will chew through Stizzy as he turns the corner, collects a second, looking for 3 as Fonkers the last man alive. Sir Boss going for the plant inside of Sunrise behind the bar, and Enemy with the hold from default will lock it out. Penta in the dying seconds able to push in an overwhelming amount of pressure. That 5-5-2 from Sir Boss. Penta take the lead now on the attacking side, up 2-1.
Yeah, it's too bad the Legion did not peek their boss when he had the opportunity in that kitchen hallway. But he was playing passive. He was trying to be smart. Last couple seconds of the round, just waited out. Didn't work out in the end because the one-man advantage Penta had, having someone to cover that plant. Good job to Penta making it work in the end. They really shouldn't have. It seemed like Secret was in a great position to win that round. They had managed to delay for a significant amount of time, and Lems upstairs had gotten those 2 picks, which really hurt Penta when they were going for the actual site take, and it slowed down their take overall quite a bit. Now, we'll be moving on to Hookah Billiards, which is the first site that we started on, and this is the only site that Secret has managed to win. So far, I have to say, Penta has seemed very dominant through this match. The only round that Secret won, they narrowly won, and it was actually a bit of a trip by Penta to allow Secret to win that round. And why? Penta smoked their way in through Aquarium, which covered the positioning for the player of Secret, who is by Billiards Bar, allowing for Steezy to get some easy kills as he was getting a little bit aggressive on those Aquarium pushers. So, as long as Penta doesn't make any glaring mistakes moving forward here, as they have managed to avoid so far through the last 2 rounds, they're probably going to keep their wins going and put us at a 3-1 here. It just looks like Penta are just ever so slightly better coordinated right this minute.
Yeah, the first round as well, you had the 5v3 advantage from Penta, and that looked extremely promising. Like you said, comes down to those dying moments inside the smoke. And for Team Secret in the last couple rounds there, last round specifically, they do a good job. They actually get after the start. Lems grabs those 2 picks on the 3 members that were pushing in through Hookah doorway from the balcony on the side of Penta. He gets shut down by Sir Boss, but time control not on their side. Bloss as well is going to take down Leon the Echo extremely early. Not quite sure where that was. Bloss, again, garnering kills from outside. Seems like the rotations and the positioning from Team Secret being punished here as Penta taking those long angles and just awaiting rotations like you said early on.
Here's another way to get onto Tarp. There are 2 ways. This way and the one where you vault from the northwest little walls there and you can get up on there. I think it's nice positioning. You know that it's funny because there used to be like 3 other ways to get onto Tarp, and they've just been trying so hard to get rid of each and every one of them, and now there's still 2 ways. So, yeah, anyway, on Tarp yet again is Hungry, and he's going to be playing that long angle into the A and B bomb side.
Not a big shock there is.
Blackbeard's really good for that position.
Honestly, and you've still got Bloss repelled out on the big window as well, having this 2-position fort to lock down any remaining rotations inside of the objective. Secret going back to a Lems on the Clash, and I guess that's a Nitro Shell shot out of mid-air.
Well, I didn't seem to land on the window seal, but I mean, it was a wasted Nitro Cell. That's for sure.
Nonetheless, it wasn't really going to make it all the way to Tarp. Still Tom Brady on the defensive side.
I think it was trying to hit the balcony. I'm not sure, but C4 missed, and sprays coming in here from Penta. They've already managed to take out Leon, so that's a really good initial pick to have because it's the Echo, the only off-site presence besides C4 now, eliminated. Unless you count goo traps, so. But it's a stretch. Anyway, Penta have a man advantage, but they've only got 40 seconds left. And they're going to extend that man advantage as Fonkers goes down. I believe he may have tried to just run out, possibly, and that's unfortunate that it didn't work out for him. He did light up Blaz, but it just wasn't enough.
Tried to run out of the office doorway, but Bloss in the reaction, enemy being the saving grace. Smokes come out now as Revon's just going to try and initiate a plant through these benches, and finally the shots will land from Meepy onto the head of Revon. So the diffuser surrendered inside the objective as Hunger is repelled out on the hookah window. There's 19 seconds left, and they need to make a final push. You still got the Clash from Lems alive to slow all this down with the flank from Sir Boss. Up the cool vibe stairs once again. Lems still trying to stall out the progression of the diffuser, but now he's last man alive. As Stizzy will fall inside behind the bar. He's being pinched from every single angle. Bloss coming in behind, and he'll be the one to clean it up through the wall. Lems falls. Secret dropped 3 in a row.
Okay, so these rounds have been very slow from Penta, but they've also been methodical. And Penta haven't made any glaring issues since that first round, and that's why they've managed to win these 3 in a row. It doesn't seem like Secret really have much going in their way. They've also been losing a lot of players kind of unnecessarily early on. For example, Leon, as the Echo, should be the last person to die in all, ideally in that situation. But he got picked so very early into that round. We also saw some pretty lackluster runouts from Secret. Fonkers, I believe, was the one to try and come out from that south door, as you said. So overall, there's not a lot of lethality from Secret side, not a lot of bite. And they are allowing Penta to set up and execute and giving away picks in that setup before the execute. You know, the crime of it all is that because Penta have been so slow in their setups before they start going for the actual execution in the last couple seconds of the round, because of that slowness from Penta, if Secret were to adjust and, you know, lean into that, if they were to have some kind of way to punish Penta for taking so long to set up, this would probably be like a reversed scoreline right now. Because, I mean, darn, these have been some slow rounds from Penta. As much as they've been, you know, lethal, methodical, and well executed, slow is certainly another word I would use to describe them.
Yeah, it is coming down to the dying seconds. At the end of the day, you have 3 minutes at your disposal, so if you got to use them all to get the rounds, then, hey, as long as you're coming away with those coin flips at the end, then things are working out for you. For the side of Secret, I think really the early deaths obviously are not helping. It's positioning, and it's also just failed aggressiveness as well. Fonkers has tried to make a play in almost every one of these rounds, whether it's a run out or an aggressive peek, and he's been shut down at every turn.
Yeah, here's something that's important to note, as I don't think that Secret have been ignoring what's going on. I think they've been trying to adapt to the way that Penta are playing and trying to slow Penta down even more. I mean, they brought it Clash last round. That's a great example of, you know, attempting to slow down your opponent, but it just hasn't worked. Right now, Secret are struggling to put kills on the board. They're struggling to hold just basic angles and the sight. So it's partially great play from Penta. It's also partially just Secret struggling. Well, it's not over yet. Only 4 rounds have transpired. We've got the 5th here for you, and Penta are starting to clear out the top floor. Some great use of these pre-made holes the defense actually created upstairs will give Blast full information on Hookah, and he's just, yeah, he's gonna go inside, and there's no one there to stop him. That's really curious the way that this was set up. I'm not entirely sure why the defenders fell back so quickly, but at least a little bit of time was wasted.
Yeah, you burn half the round, you haven't lost any members, so again, we talk about keeping men alive. Okay.
There's gotta be some kind of camera in there somewhere. Yeah, there it is. So, lots of information here for Secret, and they do have minimal 2 C4s. So there's some vertical play potential going on right now. That is also a very common breach charge spot. It will allow you to play Sunrise Bar, as you can see, thanks to that lifeline impact. Blaz seems aware of the player at the bottom of blue stairs, and he's doing his best to pressure said player using his holes. This vertical control is going to be so important for Penta when they go for the site take. C4 misses, and that is huge. Penta not getting punished for this top floor presence.
No, Secret trying to respond back with 1 Nitro Cell, and it will soar errant, not connecting, and Meepy has lost most of the health. And this engagement, that was from the breaching charge that landed square on his head as he's busy checking cameras. Now, enemy will just do some more reconstruction as well, as they've had to evacuate outside the site, and Hungry through the office wall. Fonkers and Meepy fall in tandem. Hungry and Bloss continuing their winning ways. You got Stizzy trying to peek up the base of the Cool Vibe stairs, but Sir Boss not getting aggressive yet. Again, we come down to the dying 20 seconds of the round, and Penta need to convert for a site push. Alems is able to chew through Revan for 1, and now aggressing down the Cool Vibe stairs is Sir Boss. The IQ has been instrumental on the flank every round. Leon finally able to shut him down. 8 seconds left, and finally enemy pushing in as Bloss will secure a kill onto Stizzy. The flank coming out to secure another one onto Leon. Last man alive is Alems. In the dying seconds, the plant going down from enemy into the overtime, flanking through the blue bar. He's able to chew through 1. That's Bloss falling on the Zofia. Shots in towards the sunrise window. He's going to go for the vault straight into the waiting arms of Hungry. And that is Penta with 4 in a row, storming and surging here on Coastline. After a misstep on round 1, they've looked flawless.
Oh, man. And people say Blackbeard isn't good, but if it weren't for Blackbeard, Lems would have just put that into a 1-on-1. It was a really nice try there, but it just was not enough. And now, as you say, 4 in a row for Penta. And what I think would have easily been 5 in a row. That first round was very narrowly a Secret win. And again, it was due to mistakes made by Penta. And despite... Again, the story hasn't changed over these last 4 rounds. it's the same thing over and over again. Despite Penta taking a long time to deliberate and, establish early control, clear the roamers, and set up to execute on the site, despite them always executing in like the last 20 seconds, still Penta are too lethal for Secret to stop when that execution does eventually come. And often Secret are giving away early picks. Not so much in that last round, but it didn't even matter in the end. So it's just so little fight back by Secret.
Yeah, and it's tough when Penta are holding all of the angles for you, especially with a Blackbeard, a Tarp, or a Blossom with a big window to, I guess, peak common angles. But at that point, you've got to adapt and flex out and find other avenues for possibly a flank. We've never seen anyone on the side of Secret try and come up through the theater stairs and come through luggage on a flank when that three-man set upstairs in Hookah is just destroying floorboards. We haven't seen adaptations from Secret. And at the same time, for Penta, seems very Vitality reminiscent, honestly, for the last dying 20 seconds and holding angles and waiting until the final minute to make your push. That was a strategy that kind of worked for a little while, but at some point they got figured out. And for Team Secret here, quick adaptations and trying to accelerate the pace of play might be the downfall of Penta. The only problem is you're on your last round of defense. You got to go to the attack after this. A little late to be making adjustments.
Well, this is going to be Kitchen. Well, it's the first site that Penta won an attack on, so it's not exactly the best site to make your last defensive stand, but it's, I mean, what are you going to do if you're Secret, right? They haven't been winning anywhere other than Billiards, and that really hasn't been successful for them either, so may as well try new things, keep the ball rolling, and hope that something changes. Good drone work coming out here for Penta. Could be followed up by a pick onto the dock, who exposes himself. Missed shots and blast, but he finally ends it. Ravon also takes out Meepy, so okay. 2 roamers lost in the span of a minute. And it took, sorry, the span was more like 10 seconds. It took Penta a minute. So unfortunate here for Secret. Ravon will be punished though. So here we go. Secret back in this round. CZ might have just salvaged the whole thing. A round out here from Alems, but he doesn't look high enough. Needed to go a little bit further forward, but it might not have mattered. Blackbeard likely would have won that fight. At least Alems gets away with his life. Half the round still yet to go for Penta. That's a lot to work with as an attacker. Leon's going to be punished for his run out. Hungry is just waiting patiently for the aggression which he expects to happen. And he has put Leon in a bad spot.
Health-wise, it's a dangerous game to be playing here for Penta. The Alibi holograms displaced upstairs as, well, at least ping him away as you try to shoot the base of those Prismas. But like you said, Leon on one shot on basically any gun at medium range on the attacking side. You've got Bloss doing top control as well, looking to displace any of these remaining anchors. And there goes the Alda, and there goes Leon. And through the drone hole, and another one for Hungary as the attempted peek from Alems. It's all going downhill for Team Secret as Stizzy's the last man alive, pushing down the kitchen hallway. Vaulting out now and carrying the diffuser is Sir Boss. Enemy seems to have a beat on him as he's going to turn the corner slowly. Oh, the timing as he looks away. Stizzy will shoot through him and able to light up the backside as he tries to slowly crouch his way into the bathroom corridor. But Sir Boss with a fake plant and then an actual plant attempt as Ping's not coming out onto the proper spot of the IQ planting. A lot of errant shots not connecting here for Stizzy either as Bloss has made his way into courtyard and they're going to dance around this hard wall on the courtyard double door, peeking behind the trees. Able to take down another one, so Bloss will fall. He's eliminated this down to a 1v2. You've got Sir Boss inside of the common kegs corner. And you've got Hungry outside of the service door. Another one for Stizzy, but he's only got 4 bullets left in the SMG-11, and he's trying to breach open a hole to try and defuse this through the wall. Hungry rushing through, and he's able to land the shot with ease. Almost a sneaky defuse there for Stizzy, but it's Secret surrendering 5 in a row. It's a 5-1 ball game.
That was certainly an excellent try there from Stizzy. I want to know where those marks were coming from because the marks were on the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Those marks were active marks that were being placed on someone not there? Either that it was a late mark, it's IQ shot the camera or whatever it is before going for the plant, maybe? Whatever the case,
Actually, I think that's what it was.
It must have been.
Sir Boss, as the IQ, tried to plant for like a microsecond.
And then came off.
And went back down. Yeah. So I think he shot the cam.
It must have been, because that's the only explanation we have for those marks.
Yeah.
Imagine if they had been on target and he had denied the plan. I feel like CZ would have clutched it. Though, it's one of those rounds where, yeah, Penta had full control throughout. They had everything going for them. You can't be putting pressure on Steezy like that to clutch every single round. And I mean,
they were having, so they're not going to have to contend with it anymore. They'll be on the attacking side.
Yeah, this match right now has been the Penta show.
Yep.
Secret have shown us very little to root for.
They had so much trouble with Hungry on the Blackbeard.
That's true. Yeah, no.
No matter where he was.
First of all, Hungry is a great Blackbeard player. Second of all, Blackbeard can be really, it can be difficult if you just don't know what to do if you're not winning gunfights. Because Blackbeard, that's what he does. His whole gadget is he wins gunfights.
Yep.
That's what he's there for. So, Secret are their lethality is being mitigated by the Blackbeard shield essentially so far through that first half, and now it's gone because they get to attack onto the defenders of Penta now. But is it too late to recover to 5-1? It might just be.
Again, I bring it up because it has happened in recency, which was the Chaos and, ironically, Penta game. So Penta was in this exact same damn position.
They were up 5-1, and then
on this map against Chaos,
and then
Chaos won 6 in a row to win 7-5. So don't tell me that it's absolutely impossible.
I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not, and you're right. It was the same. It was the same position.
Yep.
So if Secret are looking to pull a Chaos, then now would be the you start that now.
It's do or die at this point.
Yeah. I just don't see it as likely.
Oh hell no.
No. So Secret getting control of the east side of top floor. Give themselves a platform to launch an attack on a site. They'll be coming from the inside, isolating their flanks and starting to push into Aquarium, which is staunchly defended by Penta. G36 on Fonkers. He prefers the ACOG, that is clear. There's some mixed opinions on that right now.
Not mistaken, Fonkers has yet to grab a kill in this game. That's a
really
disappointing fact for the newest member, and yeah.
Yikes.
0-4-6 right now.
Okay.
In that roaming position, we saw the pinching coming out from Penta on their attacking side. 4 Team Secret to have a chance in this. Fonkers needs to come alive. Leon, though, will take down enemy to start things off. And there goes Fonkers, grabbing his first one. Response, though, is a Nitro Cell. Look to clean that up. Fonkers will be dispatched of after only grabbing 1. But, man, advantage now for Secret as they try to accelerate things. Still a minute remaining, and we're not seeing that same kind of Penta setup.
Oh, I love this last second mirror window. C4 from below will land. Yes, and it gets 2 for Yvonne. That might have just salvaged the round for Penta. A huge play, great coordination, and good information for Penta. And, well, Secret, they seemed like they were in a good position, but it might be all over. No one to capitalize on that air jab, so it's not going to mean anything when the actual site take comes out.
Extreme separation right now for Team Secret as Stizzy controlling Diffuser still being pinged out inside of Aquarium, and Meepy inside of VIP is still trying to vault out. Ravon will catch the Diffuser on a rotation. Stizzy downstairs, removed from play. Meepy, last man alive. He tries desperately, flailing in the wind to maneuver up the hookah balcony. Flashbangs come out under the barricade, and he's going to knife straight in. A quick incursion will meet a quick demise. Hungry puts Penta on match point. Team Secret, if it weren't for a flustered Penta in the first round, this would have been a 7-0.
You know, okay, so going into this match, I honestly thought that Secret was going to be going at it a little bit harder. What my expectations were, okay. Penta is capable of going to LAN. They're also capable of being relegated, but they're not close to either. It's unlikely that either will happen, right? So Penta are going to be playing their best, but I think that Secret, who are in a current position of 7th and possible relegation spot, would be coming out swinging, and they would get the win against Penta because Penta, again, are effectively the gatekeepers to relegation right now. That's my expectation going into this, because you know who else has to play Penta next week for Europe? Mouse. And Mouse are very close to that relegation position. So the fact that right now we're seeing Secret nowhere near a win, I mean, they can't win anymore. No. That's done. The fact that Secret can't beat Penta means that they're getting more entrenched in their 7th spot, and that's not good for them. If they can win 5 in a row, though, Secret will get 1 point, which would put them closer to Mouse's 13. And, I mean, still not very good.
No, even if they can pull back a miraculous comeback here, the result still isn't what you want.
Basically, what we're looking at right now, ladies and gentlemen, is two teams are going to fight later in Europe to figure out which one of them is auto-relegated and which one of them is relegated. And those two teams will very likely, though not definitively, be Secret and Na'Vi. Currently, Na'Vi finds themselves with 7 points in the last spot, Secret with 9 points in the second to last spot. So Secret's definitely an advantage, but they're not going to get the low-hanging fruit that is Penta in this match here today. Or at least that's not a win, but maybe if they get 5 rounds, a draw.
Again, you're going to have to be surmounting a nearly impossible task just to do this. And it looks like it'll be a Lems pushing in on the IQ to start things off for Penta. Checking the theater stairs, and it seems like it's a full kitchen push here for Team Secret, as you've got Leon and Meepy pushing in through kitchen itself, and a Lems droning out over towards the security hallway. And he'll join them on the backside too, taking care of this wooden barricade that was preset by Penta on the defense, just as a sound indicator for whenever anyone starts pushing through. And you're also going to utilize some of the X-Kairos onto a castle barricade. Not really the end of the world, because you don't really need the X-Kairos elsewhere.
It's Coastline.
It's Coastline.
Yeah. This is really good droning from Secret right now, but they're not going to be able to take Sir Boss at Sunrise Bar as Leon just tries to push in from side entrance. That's odd. He had air jabs, he didn't use them. Hungry will take down Fonkers, so it's getting pretty bad here for Secret. Those Lems will get the very first kill for their team, and Steezy follows it up. Here we go, a little bit of bite back from Secret, and even more! That's 3 in a row in this engagement for Secret, and now we're in a 2 versus 2, but from behind, enemy takes down a Lems, leaving just Steezy by the Sunrise Bar, and he's being constant-marked by the Evil Eye. Not a great situation for the Twitch to find himself in this 1 versus 2. He knows the location, though, of both of these players. This is it for the win. Enemy and Ravon versus Steezy. They just need to wait the last minute out. They know they have the diffuser. No plant available to the Twitch. Will he check blue? Yes, he will, but he misses the shot. Jaeger falls back. Steezy not going to hunt, though. He has the diffuser. He's going to try going for sight. He's caught in such a devastatingly bad crossfire right now. He's trying to take one player at a time. He sees the enemy, but cannot land the shots from behind the Jaeger, but no shots landed yet again. And Steezy will trade. Penta will take it, and that's a GG. A 7-1 in favor of Penta, and 7 rounds in a row from Penta.
So, remember when we started the day and said that it was going to be a long night?
Dude, I don't know.
I don't know either.
These matches were so unusually fast for Europe.
Yes.
And the stakes are so unnaturally high that it blows my mind a little bit what we just witnessed. I can't believe that Secret didn't put up more of a fight against Penta, if nothing else. They're not as bad off as Na'Vi, but...
No, but it's still not your favorite position to be in right now, considering you're still in a relegation spot, you haven't made any upward progress, and you looked pretty bad in that game.
And you know what else? Secret, their next match is going to be Na'Vi. They're, the team they're contending with for that those relegation spots.
Yeah.
And then after that, Secret are going to play against Chaos, who haven't been losing lately. So Secret are in a really bad spot going into the end of this season. Na'Vi will be playing against G2 after they play Secret in the final European Playday. So both teams
have a rough schedule.
Is not good for both Na'Vi and Secret right now, basically is the story. And Mouse, having beaten Na'Vi, they are distancing themselves from the pack. At the beginning of the day, it was Mouse, Na'Vi, and Secret who were in those relegation contention. Now it's just Na'Vi and Secret. I mean, realistically.
Yeah, I mean, there's an outside chance that Mouse could fall, but
I feel like we should just kill those outside chances. They almost never happen.
Realistically, what is going to happen is the seeding difference based off of next game between Na'Vi and Secret.
Yeah,
that's going to determine everything for the rest of the relegation potential matches.
Pretty much.
And who gets auto-relegated.
I like how the result of the who's getting auto-relegated and who's going to be just, relegated are in the hands of both Na'Vi and Secret, though. I mean, since they play each other, I think that's really appropriate.
Yeah.
And, the winner will take it. At the same time, it's definitely a much better position for Secret right now with 9 points instead of Na'Vi 7. I don't, and the reason we're talking about this, if we're being honest, is like, yeah, we're getting closer to the end of the season. It becomes more and more relevant as we come down to the end of that. But it's also that last match. There's not much to talk about.
No.
Secret didn't show us anything at all. Like,
they didn't really show up.
They weren't there. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Secret, were not there. So, Penta, great job. I like what we were seeing from Penta.
Yeah.
Well-orchestrated strategies, attacking onto Coastline. Love their operator selection for countering how Secret were playing. They really did know what they were getting themselves into, and a lot of teamwork from Penta. It was very impressive. That also is going to shoot them up the standings a little bit, in that they are actually going to pass G2. So that's cool.
They're at 18 now.
Yeah.
So they're in the 4 spot. Better standings on the season. Like we said, there is, and I know you said you wanted to shoot the outside chances, but
I mean,
there's a mathematical chance that Penta could make it to Milan. But let's be honest, they need more of a horseshoe than Chaos has right now to make it.
It's just not likely. And yeah, Chaos, who have more points at 21, would have to get very, very lucky to go to the LAN. It would require Lestream not winning 2 matches and Chaos winning against G2 and Secret. Though, based on what we just saw, that Secret match, unless Secret changes something at the end of the season, it looks like Chaos has a surefire win, because Chaos have been playing really 2 big question marks in Europe now, and that's the main takeaway from today.
And either team that doesn't get auto-relegated also going to have hell to fight through against the number 2 Challenger League team coming out of EU.
Oh yeah. So if you end last in Pro League for auto relegation, you're done. You don't get to compete against any team. The first place team in European Challenger League, which right now I believe is Vitality.
Yes.
They will get the spot automatically.
Yeah.
But and that's not guaranteed going to be Vitality. I haven't checked the stats recently, but they are in very, very secured lead right now in European Challenger League. The second place team in European Challenger League, when Challenger League season ends, will have to fight the 7th place team in European Pro League. So whether it's Secret, Navi, or potentially Mouse, whichever one of them it is, there's going to be a real fight there in relegations, and it could go any which way, because European Challenger League is very competitive right now.
Absolutely.
Great teams down there, so lots of potential for them to propel themselves forward into Pro League moving into the next season. So I think we're waiting on an interview right now.
Just waiting to see if we can get one up and running.
Mm-hmm.
It would be most likely with Jess, the coach of Penta.
Probably Jess, yeah.
Okay, apparently we have the interview ready with, I imagine, the coach, Jess, of Penta. Yes. Hello, Jess. How are you this evening? Congratulations on your handed win over Team Secret.
Thank you.
So this game, both Michael and I were commenting, you guys were utilizing a lot of the time available to you in rounds, very, very heavy pushes in the dying seconds of rounds, and this seems to be a bit of an alteration for what we were seeing with you guys against Chaos just a few weeks ago. Was this specifically a strategy you employed versus Secret, or is this a strategy you guys have created to go on further with?
I think as of our sort of pushes from last week against Empire, we showed that we wanted to be more methodical with our attacks. We wanted to use a step-by-step process and use our time wisely, 1 minute per step per se, I guess. So that was something that you kind of saw here. It did take some of our steps, took a little bit longer than a minute. And of course, you're trying to catch up that time by the end of the round. But those steps are necessary. And I want my boys to stop worrying so much about how much time is left, rather the steps that are done for them to be able to win the rounds. That's kind of why we've been more methodical and slower.
So you mentioned the game last week against Empire, and in that game, Empire were having some fun, I guess, taking some aggression and some aggressive stances against you guys, especially on their defensive roam. Tonight against Secret, you shut that down in its tracks, honestly, its birthing moments. There was no real entry for Secret to take a shot against you guys, especially when they tried to isolate Hungry. Wherever he was across the map, someone's taking a shot, but everyone on the team was reacting. Is that, again, just an alteration comparative to last week? Because when I look back at that Chaos game a few weeks ago, that 5-1 advantage, I know you don't want me to bring it up, but it's something that has clearly changed with Penta, and you guys have looked much, much better. Tonight was dominant. What was your guys' response heading in to deal with some aggressive plays coming from Secret?
I think from my perspective especially, the team looks to me a lot for answers and intel. And Secret is a team that can be quite unknowing. That you're not really, like Chaos changed a few of their strats. We were aware of what they were going to do. Empire, they do the same thing every time. But Secret was a little bit of a, we don't know. So what I did was I did loose strats, loose counter strats, and I found their preferred entry points, certain players that prefer to enter there, and then we isolated them off before they could even enter. And that seems to work pretty well.
I imagine so. If you don't let them in the building, they can't really do a whole lot of damage. I guess one last question to round it out. You guys are still mathematically available to push to Milan. You would need all of the help in the entire world and to run out the rest of the season flawless. Is that a focus for you guys, or are you guys kind of taking a backseat right now and refocusing for Season 10, as with this win, you now firmly push yourself out of any possibility for a relegation spot?
What we want to do is solidify ourselves as a top 4 EU team, because we know that that is our capability when we're being consistent. Of course, consistency has been our issue. And actually, I argue only attack has been our issue on almost every map this entire season. Our defense has been rather flawless. So I do want to commend the boys on that for working their absolute heart out. The rest of this season has been practice, and the boys are going to take a well-earned holiday afterwards. So they're putting in a lot of hours every week with me, and that's why the attacks look so dominant now, and I'm so proud of them. I really am. It's a pleasure to work with them.
Well, the work has definitely paid off. As we round out the evening, Jess, is there anything you'd like to say to the Penta faithful back home watching, as you guys really put a clinic on against Secret tonight?
I do just want to give a massive shout out to Secret. They've been having a hard season thus far. It was a beautiful game. Unfortunately, we knew which map they would want to go to, so of course my job was a little bit easier. But I do hope that they put in the hard yards. And for all of our Penta fans, after our win last week, you guys fired up, and we told you we'd come back strong. And there's a little bit of SpongeBob swole going around to wonder whether or not we'd keep that going, and we did. So I want you all to know that we're going to keep that going for the rest of the season, and we'll see everyone at minors, majors, so on and so forth.
Well, thank you very much, Jess, for the interview. Again, congratulations, and we'll see you for the last 2 play days in the next coming weeks. Good night.
Good night.
Wow.
Dominant performance, put on a clinic. The hard work is definitely paying off on the side of Penta. Yeah. And I think what Jess said really rings true. They want to be a top 4 EU team. They want to, because you look at the roster, there's definitely the potential.
They are right now, so.
They are right now, as we'll show you the standings to see what we wrap up with on our conclusion of Playdate number 12 in Europe. So, of course, Empire and G2 draw to start things off, so Empire only grabbed, only 1 point.
Oh, they're so close to 30, look at that. So yeah, Empire, they got their spot to land.
Yep.
Let's stream, though, and Chaos. This is the big story. Again, the question mark at the top is which will go to land, Let's stream or Chaos, or Penta, I suppose. But it's really the streamer Chaos who are fighting for this right now. And at the bottom, the question mark is now Team Secret and Not As Sincere, which will be taking that auto relegation spot down to Challenger League, and which one will have to fight for their chances to get out. Oh, also technically Mouse, but again, it's one of those things like, guys, that's unlikely to happen. So that's pretty much Europe right now.
That is Europe in a nutshell. We are finally closing in on a final picture of how the standings will look at the end of this grueling, incredible competitive season between all 8 teams. Honestly, in EU, there is not a bad roster. There have just been bad performances, and that's evident by how close a lot of these games usually are. Tonight was a bit of an abnormality when it comes to how close the games were. Yeah. But honestly, it was a beautiful night of games all around.
And it was good to cast with you, Roberto Flynn.
Thank you, Michael Kickstar Stockley.
And yeah, that's it for us. European Pro League Week 12, done and dusted. We have 2 more for Europe and pretty much every other region, so we'll see you in the future when those happen.